So we're going to work on the front inside cover first, and then we'll do the back inside cover. They're made the same, but our pattern papers are going to be different. So for each one, though, I did cut from the cream colored or ecru, my colors, one mat or two mats, one for the front, one for the back, and these are cut at, let's see, these are cut at two mats. That's the wrong one. Hang on, let me find inside, front, and back cover. Well, I thought I wrote them down, so hang on a second. So this is 6 7/8 by 8 7/8. 6 7/8 by 8 7/8. So let me see where I wrote those down. Hang on a second. I'll make sure my notes are correct so I can type them up for you. So hang on. Okay, I had them wrote down. 2 in the ivory color, ecru color, 6 7/8 by 8 7/8. And then you're going to round the corners. So I used a 7 millimeter, just 2 corners on each one. And these are going to glue down in here. So this one I've got ready to glue down, and then I'm going to cut my pattern paper. So I cut 2 of those. I'm going to go ahead and round the corners on this one. So I already have it ready to go. I have not picked the papers for the back yet. I'm just working on the front side for now, but I've got that laying like that. Okay, so that's for this side. We do need to put a magnet in here. So I am using the new tonic that you can get from Country Craft Creations magnets. So I need 2 of those. I'm using the small. I've heard that they're really strong. So we're going to see how that works. And you do need to use your little sticker sheet here. Pop that down in there like that. And then this one. So I just pull the little backing off, and then I just kind of lay my magnet over that circle. So I'm going to put this magnet, about 3/4 of an inch, center it. And bring it over and lay it down. Let's see if I had enough sticky. Nope. So I'm going to have to add some to this one. So if the stickers don't work for you, you're going to have to figure out the magnet. Get you some score tape here. And in between it, sticky side facing up, attach your magnet down. That's the sticky side, and then press it in and separate. So there's my magnet there. I'm going to put some tape on this one too, just to secure it, because it could come loose until I'm ready to get everything glued in. Okay, so there's those. This goes here. Now, paper that I'm going to use on this side, and I'm only doing a mat on this, is I want this side of the floral. So we're going to cut this at, this is 6, and this one is 6 7/8. So we're going to cut at 6 3/4 by 8 3/4. So we're going to cut the short piece first. So I'm going to flip it over so I can save that back in case I use it somewhere else. But I'm going to use one anyway. 6 3/4 right here. Cutting my short width first. 6 3/4. So I'm saving that. Didn't keep it all, but some of it saved. 6 3/4. Then we're going to flip it. And I'm going to cut it at 8 3/4. So that should fit right on that mat like that. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to round the corners. Again, the 7 millimeter. Just 2 corners. Okay, so we're going to glue those together and then attach them into the book. For this inside flap here, we're not matting, so it's going to be the full section here. And so this one you'll cut 6 7/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. So I want the bike, I'm going to turn it upside down if you're cutting in your trimmer with it upside down like this. So you put 6 7/8, measure it, 6 7/8 on the edge, and I'm just going to cut all the way down. And then turn it. I want the bike, so I'm going to cut from this top edge, 8 7/8. Nope, that's not right. From the bottom edge, 8 7/8. Always look before cutting. Put the bike at the bottom edge at 8 7/8, and then cut that left piece off. So that gives us this right here to fit in here. We're going to round the 2 outer corners. That's what's going to glue right there. Move my trimmer a little bit here. Give me some room. I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing off of my magnet. Apply glue on the back side. Now remember, if you're wanting to ink your papers, I don't ink a lot on my albums unless I want them junk journal grungy. So go ahead and ink before you glue your papers down if that's what you want to do. So we glue this one down right here. And remember, we're going to have a very narrow margin of our craft showing. So burnish around where the magnet is. Get that stuck down and burnish your paper. So that's what that looks like there. Okay, next we're going to do this inside section, covering this magnet here. So let's get the measurement for that. And we want a piece that is, and we're going to cover this hinge. So the section we're covering is 2. Let's see, we can go all the way over to our hinge piece. So it is 8 1/8. So we're going to cut it 8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. And I want the blue gingham, or do I want the red? I think I want the red because I've got the red here. So hang on. Let's grab that. Don't we have a red one? So, yeah. So I want that red gingham like that. So what did I say? 8 wide, double check. Yeah, 8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. Cut my 8 wide first. Eight wide by 8 7/8, cutting from the bottom all the way over it to 8 7/8. This does not need to be rounded because this is just going to drop in right in here in this section. Okay, so I'll take this backing off of my magnet. And then next we're going to add our pockets in. So we line it up just a little bit off from that fold line here. about a 1/16 inch from the bottom. And what we're doing here is we're actually covering up part of our hinge here where it's attached down. We're going to burnish this in, finishing up this whole big section in here. Burnish around the magnet and get that down in good. So there's that section there. Really pretty like that. Now for the pockets. So let's see what we want to do with those. So these pockets are going to go like this, and you can bring them up. They don't have to be attached down to the bottom, wherever you want to put them. Let's see, I have a mat that's going to go in like that. So I think I'm going to put it down there about an inch from the bottom. Okay, so let's put our pattern paper on first. So we're going to use scraps for this. And I think I'm going to use this gingham for sure. So that's 6 inches. It's going to be 5 7/8 unless you want to mat, because this is matted, or we can mat these pockets too. So let's grab a scrap of our ecru. So that's 6. So we're going to cut this down to 5 7/8. This one would be, and I'm not going into this border up in here. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So that section is about, let's do 1 7/8. Just a little under 1 7/8, I think. It's going to go like this. Okay, so let's glue that on. This one's going to go under, but we want all of this covered with the matching paper. So we don't have to cover this little notch down here. That was going to be a guide, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to move it up some. So this is, let's say 2 1/2. Let's make it 2 3/8. 2 3/8. And this piece from the fold your flaps down is 6, so 5 7/8. This one may be already cut. 5 7/8. So these are scraps that I'm using, so that did need to cut off a little bit. 5 7/8 goes right there. Okay. Next, we want our patterned paper. I'm going to use this check. So 5 7/8, we're going to make it 5 3/4, the width. And then this one was 1 7/8, so that's 1 3/4. Just like that. And this one, 5 7/8. We have some more of the red. 5 7/8. No, 5 3/4. Sorry, 5 3/4 by 2 3/8. We'll cut this one 2 3/8. I don't know what I said on that other one, so I think this will make it right. Okay, so that looks about right. It doesn't matter on the bottom as much because you're not going to see it. So I'm just going to glue that one down. Probably need to have been a little shorter in height, but it's going to work. Glue that on. Getting a little bit of spacing going on. Okay, so let's get these pockets going. So this one here is going to attach to the bottom. And I put glue on the flaps on each side. Oh, I didn't glue my paper on. Oops. Okay, and then glue right along the base line. So I'll have to glue my paper on after I get this on. So I'm going to bring it about 1 inch up, and I'm going to eyeball it, center it, side to side, burnish that down. Just like that. Let's go ahead and glue this pattern piece on. Okay, this one slides in like this, but we need to push it down enough so that underneath you can see some of the gingham. So I'm just going to put glue. Now if you want to seal it up, you can. Let's see how. But if you need to go further in, I'm going to just glue on the 2 sides. The 2 tabbies sticking out here. Like that. So it makes a deeper pocket that way. Line up the sides and make sure it is straight. Okay. And burnish those sides. Just double check and make sure I'm straight. Don't want a crooked pocket. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now this is going to stick in here. And then we have this little short one. I haven't decided on this one. It looks kind of funny there. I'm going to make this into a pocket somewhere. And then we have this one tag that's going to go in here like this. So we'll add pattern paper when we have scraps. So that's how this section's done. Yeah, this pocket here. I'm going to make it a flat pocket. Got some red hanging in it. I'm going to put it right here. This one is, I think I gave you the measurements earlier, but it is 4 by 4.5 with the punched edge. It's just going to go like that. So I'm just going to put glue. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the lacy part here so things aren't hanging. I may do that on the others as well. And then across the bottom, just a line of glue. Then go ahead and touch this down where you want it. Make sure it's straight. And then we're going to cut a piece of paper for that. So do I want the solid red, maybe. I think for now I'm going to do a solid red. So it's going to be 3 7/8 by 3 1/4. 3 7/8 by 3 1/4. See what we got. 3 7/8 by 3 1/4. And if I want to put something else on there later, I can. So that's going to go right there. And just pay attention to my wording so it's not upside down. Okay. So there's this one. And then in there we can put, let's find these tags. Got these pretty tags here. Just going to line them up with my cutter. Cut the angles in the top. This one I forgot to cut the top with the trimmer, but I can do it with my scissors. So you have tags, different tags on front and back. And if you're going to tie something in them, make sure you punch through the little where the holes are on the top. Grab your punch. Just like that. There's always a little bit of white showing, but by the time I tie something in there, there's not that big a deal. Okay, so like you could put one in here, open this up, put a couple in here like this. Super cute. Okay, so that's the inside front cover. The back's going to be done just exactly the same. So I will probably do that in a speeded up version. The measurements should be the same, except maybe, well, for the mat, there's mat, everything should be the same. So I'm going to speed that up to save some time on our video. The measurements will be the same, and those will be in the cutting list. So you will do it all the same as I have done for this first inside pocket. It's just a flap. It is just going to be different paper. So for this back section here, I decided to switch up the pockets and put this flat one here, the smaller flat one here on the front, because I didn't want to cover up all of this image here. And then I'm going to build up this one here on the inside. So I'm going to decide what pattern paper I want. I think I really like, let's see, some of this that I already have cut here. So that's kind of pretty, even though it's the wrong direction. Or I have this, whoops, scrap. I dumped everything. No, let's see. I think I'm going to go with this. Probably. Oh, like that with the red on there. And then maybe this other down below. We can do whatever we want. So let's cut this. Let's do this one. Let's cut it out of this one. I think I'm going to do this one here. This one like this. Okay. So I'm going to cut it for the pocket 1 3/4, I believe, for this one tall. Yeah. Let me get my trimmer here. Okay. So it's going to be, let's cut the width first. I'm going to cut off this border here because I want to use this part here. So it is pockets are 5 7/8 wide. Flip it around. 5 7/8 wide. Right there. And then it's going to be from this part here, 5 7/8 wide by 1 7/8 tall. 1 7/8 tall. So that gives me this on the pocket. Let's see how it looks. Do I want it the red on the bottom? So that's really pretty like that. Okay, this one is the bigger one. So 5 3/4 wide. So 5 3/4. I like the red on there, so I'm going to keep that 5 3/4 wide. Did I cut the other one wrong? Wait, look. Yeah. Did I cut that 5 3/4? Can't even remember. I get to talking. 5 3/4. 5 3/4. No, I left it a little long. Trim that off a little bit. There we go. That's better. 5 3/4. 5 3/4 on this one. So I kept that red, and then I want it to be 2 3/8 tall. So I want the red border. There we go, 2 3/8. So that's going to go right here. So this is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be over here on the side. Okay. So do I want the red down like that? I think I do. Okay. So let's glue this one on. This paper is so gorgeous. I don't know. I just really, really, really love it. So I was really excited to receive it for a design team package from Country Craft Creations. Okay, so there's that. All that glue. There's that pocket. And then this one goes here with the border piece at the top. So just, these are scraps. So always look at your scraps for your, when you're putting pattern paper on your smaller pieces. Because that's how you pull it all together. You're not having to cut into a full sheet of anything. Make sure it's not covering up those holes there. Okay, so burnish that. So let's put this pocket on. Now this is different. We're going to put it on the inside of the flap. So I'm still going to do it about 1 inch from the bottom. So glue along the bottom edge of the pocket. seal that off. And then, of course, the flap. And a little bit on my decorative up here at the top. I went ahead and did that on the other after I had attached it down off the camera. That shows you how I did it. So about 1 inch from the bottom, and that's about a 1/2 inch from the side to side. Okay, burnish those down. Okay, and then this one's going to fit in to that. See how it fits. Well, I probably should have put it in before I glued that top part, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just pick it up. Okay, so no glue on this, just on the 2 flaps and a little bit on the decorative edge to hold that lacy part down. And then we slide this under and make sure we're lining it up side to side. Make sure it's even. Okay, so there's that. And then this will have something shorter in it, I think, than that, something shorter. So this tag will go in here like that, or let's reverse it like this, and then this one like this. This mat was a scrap, so it's smaller. This one is 3.5 by 4.5, and I rounded the corners. So you just look at your scraps, see what you've got. So that's going to go in there. I will add patterned paper, and then I need to cut some tags, I think, to go with this right quick. So hang on. Okay, so here's 3 more tags that I cut. So like, let's stick one in here, and let's see. Hopefully it will fit in this pocket here. It'll just kind of stick out right there at the top. Okay, so I need to add some kind of paper right there. So what scrap do I think would work? That. I got the red dot. Let's go with the red dot. So that piece is flat pocket 3 7/8 wide, 3 1/4 tall. So let's cut the 3 1/4 tall from this scrap. 3 1/4 tall. Okay, from 3 7/8 wide. So it's just about the right size. And that's going to go right there. And except for adding some ribbon or twine into the tags, and then also adding some more of my scraps to the photo mat. It's almost too much. There we go. This is done, except maybe some decorating. So there we go. I'm going to add some stuff to this tag and this one, and then add some twine or a ribbon. So there's that. Super cool. Very pretty. Love that. So now we're going to flip back over here to the front, and we'll start on this inside flap here and work our way through.